Hey guys, it's Matt here, and today I'm going to share with you an email I got from Araba Joy, and this is one of those niche type questions, and it's a question that while her situation, exact situation may not apply to you, the gist of it might. There's a lot of stuff that you can glean from her situation, her problem that she faces as someone who's promoting an affiliate offer and your own. And so I'm going to read a little bit of her email. She says, I blog in the Christian living niche, notorious for not wanting to buy, and worse, for thinking ministries, those are her quotes, not mine, ministries should offer everything for free. I even get hate mail over that all the time. Now, I do want to stop there and say that's definitely a big problem. I have experienced that with clients. I've experienced that with many friends who are in the same situation, and it's one of those things I don't get. I've actually had to kind of dig into that psychologically to understand that because it's a very foreign concept to me. Uh, but anyway, that's where she's at, and she goes on to says that I know pitching $147 products is going to be tricky. I've done okay with opt-ins, and yes, she has. But I'm not expecting my sales conversions to do so well. I'm wondering if you have any tips for pitching to this particular audience. And yes, I do, Araba. I've got 7 things I'm going to share with you today that I sure as heck hope will help. And again, if you don't find yourself in that exact situation, maybe you have an audience that just isn't receptive for whatever reason to buying stuff. We've all experienced that at one time or another, and hopefully this will help you. So number one, really hone in and offer a lot of the free value. I find that, this is not, let me back up here and say, none of these things are going to completely eliminate the hate mail and completely like make you suddenly sell 500 units when you normally would sell 100. I want to be clear on that. And I'll address the hate mail part in a little bit. But number one, just really hone in on that free value. Really focus in on that because when you do build up that free value, it reduces a lot of, it blunts some of the trauma that people experience when you suddenly are trying to sell something to them. And secondly, I would start previewing what's coming. This will reduce the shock. What I don't want you to do in a normal like internet marketing niche, you can get away with the free PLC content and then boom, we're selling you something. There's an expectation there, and there's certainly no how dare you try to sell me something mindset. So I would preview that potentially with I think a good time might be right around the halfway point, 2/3 of the way through. And so with this launch, with the 5 days to your best year ever launch, what I would do is say after the life score assessment, or maybe even with the life score assessment, say here's an example. Go take this life score. P.S. Michael is going to release here in about a week. He's going to release his 5 days to your best year ever course. If you find that your life score is not where you want it to be, then consider when that comes out investing in his full course. It's very affordable, blah, blah, blah. Hey, we've got this webinar coming up. Go attend this free webinar. By the way, at the end of the webinar, Michael's going to have an offer for you for those of you who want to take it to the next level and make the investment. That'll lead me to number 3 in a second. You'll notice I use that word a couple times. Use words like that, by the way. And again, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you preview what's coming, I think it kind of blunts the shock that people get. Now, that's not normally a suggestion I necessarily advise you doing, that I advise our clients to do. But I think in this case, it works. And so I know one of your concerns is, getting that hate mail. And if that's a concern, and also really kind of upsetting your audience, and whether that's right or wrong, it's true. It's what's happening. So I would rather maybe cannibalize a few opt-ins. You're not going to cost you any sales. Cannibalize a few opt-ins, but to reduce, the problems that you experience. So, reduce that shock and just preview what's coming as you go along. Kind of look at it, like this. You're gonna start off with like a mention here, there, and then as you get closer, you're gonna ramp up, your focus to full sales mode once the cart opens. And then third, I would use words like investment. I would use there was another phrase I used just a moment ago. Now I forgot what it was. Use words like investment and being able to. I can't even remember what that word. Maybe I can click rewind and go and go see it. But yeah, definitely you want to use words like that. Talk about investments and talk about, it's $147 or even more. Let's just say it's $500, whatever it is. But in your case, $147. Put that in context. Talk about it making an investment in themselves. When you use words like that, you're reframing what this is. And this is not an expense. This is an investment. And for them to really, like, when you paint that picture, and again, this is just, good advice generally, but when you paint that picture of what that $147 gets them, that's very powerful. And so you just have to, the benefits for them, that's number 4, focus on the benefits. The benefits for that audience might be different than the benefits of, say, corporate executives. So you have to really, think about that. What's the benefit for your audience? So again, number 4, focus on the benefits. So number 1, offer a lot of the free value. Number 2, preview what's coming. Don't shock them. Thirdly, use words like investment. Fourthly, you want to focus on the benefits specific to your avatar. And then 5th, just be confident. Like, you may not sell 500 units like some of the internet marketers do, but be confident in what you have to offer. I've talked about this so many times on my blog. I've written so many emails and posts about this, but that confidence factor really comes through even in email copy. You're not face to face. Like, we know face to face, we can tell if somebody's confident. You go back and look at like a video of me 3 years ago, standing in the exact same spot I'm standing in. Actually, I would have been standing right here. But, standing in almost the same spot, and I was very sheepish and very shy, even on camera. There's not a single person, there's not a person within 1,000, 2,000 feet of me right now, and I was still shy on camera, thinking about the number of people that were watching it. And that's not the case anymore. I'm confident on camera. I'm perfectly fine, doing these videos. I'm also perfectly fine on stage speaking in front of 1,000 people, or 10 people, or one-on-one. And you can tell when people aren't confident one-on-one. It's easy to see. I always use the example of like asking somebody out on a date. When if a guy goes up to a woman and he's like, takes a big gulp and, hey, you want to go out? I don't know. If you drink coffee, do you want to go drink coffee? Maybe just together sometime. Like, you can tell, like, that's not confident. But the crazy thing is, it comes across even in your emails. So it's a mental thing. When you have an expectation that people aren't going to respond, then it comes across in your email copy. And I know that it's like, kind of sounds a little bit new agey, but it's not. It's not like psychobabble to say those things. It actually comes across in the exact words that you use. And so you have to be confident. And one of the exercises that I do when I'm writing a sales email is I picture my avatar. His name's Pete. I sit down and I picture Pete reading the email, even though I haven't written it yet, clicking to the sales page, reading the sales page and going, this is for me. Scrolling down to the bottom, clicking the order button, whipping out. They got to walk across the house to grab their credit card, or hopefully debit card. They grab their debit card, they type in those numbers, and I literally just do this mental exercise. Then they get access and they love it. And I picture, we had 12 people go through my beta course, earlier this year. I picture those 12 people. I know for a fact that 9 of them, I don't know about the other 3 yet. They haven't really done what we told them to do. But I know for a fact that 9 of them have run mega affiliate launches, and I'm picturing them. So when I'm promoting an affiliate offer, I'm picturing kind of the person having the same transformation that I've had with Best Year Ever, and saying, okay, they're gonna get this, and they're gonna go through it. They're gonna watch these videos, and their life is gonna change. And then when I sit down and write the copy, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm in the right mindset. So number 5, seriously, be confident. And if you need to, take 3-4 minutes, close your eyes, picture somebody going through those processes. And it sounds kind of corny, but like, when they're buying, they've got a smile on their face. They're not buying reluctantly. They're not buying skeptically. They're buying. They're ready for their best year ever, and that's what they're going to get with this product. two don'ts. Seriously, try not to use. In fact, don't try. Just don't use the because you're in that ministry angle. Don't use the well, ministry's got to eat too angle. I know it's in the Bible. I don't remember where. I think it's one of the Thessalonians where it's like, you get, like basically saying like pay your ministries well because they got to eat, they got to live too, and they deserve their wages. But don't play that angle. It's as somebody who's had that angle played on them, it's annoying. So I just want to caution you not to try to play that angle. Focus on them. Focus on the benefit, not on the fact that, hey, no, it's cool if I make some money. I don't need to know that. I instinctively know it. Everybody instinctively knows it. And if they don't, you're never going to convince them. That's the thing. Is like if you use that angle, you're speaking to the lowest common denominator. And I hate to say this, but you, at least in terms of this, you got to kind of forget the lowest common denominator and not worry about where they're at in life. And, they've got their own issues, so let them be. And then the last one is just remember this. My three, I just realized those are also the initials HGH for human growth hormone. So I'm going to have to, oh crap. Well, anyway, HGH, haters going to hate. And so I know in the training webinars we always end it, we're talking about sales, we always end with, don't worry about haters. There's this cartoon that shows the gratitude line is empty and the complaints line is a mile long. And that's life. Think about, I know I make a conscious effort. I get this actually from my wife and from my daughter. Every single time our daughter sees somebody, particularly a female, it doesn't matter what she's wearing, what she looks like, what she's doing. She finds something to compliment her on. And sometimes it's, oh my gosh, you have beautiful hair. I love that shirt. And sometimes I'm not joking. It's, I like the sound of your voice. But she finds something to compliment them on. The reality is most people aren't like that. Most people aren't going to let you know that, hey, thanks for sending me to this webinar. It was awesome. They're just going to kind of go off into their own little world. But by golly, if you try to sell them something, they're going to send you hate mail. And here's what to do with hate mail. I am hoping, if at all possible, that you are not the initial person reading your email. If you are, then look in the preview, and if it starts off like you think this is going to be hate mail, take a chance and delete it. Now, if you think it's going to be constructive feedback, like I saw an email today that looked like it might be hate mail, but then I realized, actually, no, I can see where this person's going based on one word they used. And while it was in that gray area, it actually was very constructive feedback. And I was able to make a change to a page on my website to help what I believe would be future customers. But look at that preview, and if this looks like it's going to be hate mail, just take the chance and delete it. Don't read it. If you're not the person who reads your email, instruct your team, instruct whoever's reading your email to delete hate mail. You do not need to see it. It's going to do no good. And as a matter of fact, have them, if you use something like Gmail where you don't even archive it, delete it, permanently delete it, go to your trash, clear out your trash. You can't even search for that email if you wanted to, because you know what? I'll admit it. I've had hate mail years ago, and every now and again I'd go try to find that email. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need therapy. I have no idea. But I would go try to find that email because I don't know. I thought it was firing me up when actually what it was doing was just making me upset, making me lowering my self-esteem. So I know it's been a long video, guys. But yeah, don't read hate mail. Just delete it and don't worry about it. It's nothing. Hate mail is nothing. Constructive feedback is one thing. Hate mail is nothing. It is useless. It serves no purpose but to bring you down to somebody else's level. So there's my Dr. Phil moment, guys. Again, remember these tips, and I hope they help you regardless of whether you're running a ministry, a nonprofit, or you are very much for profit. Whatever you're doing, I hope these help you. Thanks so much.